Right now, we already have a shadow area on the coffee machine. So I just want this coffee machine to come in and then turn on one side to reveal this shadow area on the coffee machine. So right now, at the beginning, I want it to come in facing front, and then it's going to turn on the side. So to do that, we need to animate in path. Let me just go back to my coffee machine here. This is my coffee machine animation. Right now, you can see it's a Illustrator layer. So before we do the animation, we need to change it to shape layer so that we can access the path property and animate the vertex points. To make the Illustrator layer into shape layer, just right click, go to create, and then create shapes from vector layers. Now we have a shape layer, and then it's turned off my Illustrator layer. It's duplicating a shape layer on top of it. Now I don't need this Illustrator layer anymore, so let's go to the shape layer. If I click on this drop-down menu, you can see there's a ton of group, and each group is actually one of the shape that represent a portion of the coffee machine. So for now, we just need to animate the path property to manipulate the path and make a full 3D animation. Let me click on this coffee outline, and then let's search the path property here. Now it's going to reveal all the path property. Let me go to 0 seconds. I think, first of all, let me go to the end position when the coffee machine settles. So over here, this is going to be my final position. I need to set a keyframe for my final position. Let's go just add a keyframe on all the path property inside all the groups. And in order to show all the keyframes or the timeline to see better, I'm going to hold down tilde key on the keyboard, which is a key on the left-hand side of number 1, tilde key. And this way I can enlarge my timeline. And this way I can easily just click on these keyframes to add keyframe. You see? And after I'm done, I'm just going to click on the tilde key again to return to my normal layout of After Effects. This is going to be the final position. And then right when the coffee machine come in, maybe around here, I want it to face forward. So in order to face forward, let me go zoom in here. I basically need to manipulate these vertex points to have this coffee machine face forward. Let's click on this path here. You can see I can access all these vertex points. And then if I click on this point, I'm going to drag this point to the side here. And you can see I'm actually changing my artwork to have these points being manipulated and to have this face forward like this. I just need to go really deep inside and make sure I'm dragging all the vertex points, the correct ones, so that we have the coffee machine facing front. And after I'm changing the artwork, you can see there's keyframes automatically added. If I hit the tilde key again, some of these path has been adjusted, and then there's keyframe automatically updated to correspond the position of the coffee machine facing forward. And that's the correct position. However, it doesn't really make sense if we have the coffee machine facing forward, all these elements are on the side. So I need to also move these elements to be more centered. Let's go inside here and then hit on the path. Any path is going to activate all the vertex point for us. So I need to move these circles, different elements, so that we have more of a symmetrical design here to convey that our coffee machine is actually facing forward. So in this case, for these points, I would just drag all these points and then move them in the center. And then this single point here, I might just need to move it back here. That's good. And these 3 points here, or these points here, I move it in the center so that it's more symmetrical. Nice. So everything is centered. We have a coffee machine facing forward, and the keyframe is automatically added while I'm just dragging the position. So you can see there's more keyframes added, basically to represent the new position of all these different elements facing forward and also being symmetrical in the coffee machine when it's facing forward. So those are the keyframes that we need. Let me just select all the keyframes. Before I do the easing, let's see the animation now. we basically have this coffee machine turning on one side with all that keyframe that we just added. That's pretty cool. And then let's hit tilde key, select all the keyframes, and then hit F9 for easy ease. And you can see right now some of these shape or path layers doesn't have the first keyframe. That doesn't matter because it just means that they're not related to any of the 3D animation, the full 3D animation that we're doing. So these are actually the path that's controlling different parts of the coffee machine. Even though we don't have any keyframes, it doesn't affect our 3D animation, right? I think it might be just cleaner if I delete all these keyframes now because they're not related to my animation for the 3D turning. So we might as well just delete all these to make the keyframes cleaner. Now we only saved all the keyframe that's affecting our 3D animation. Select all the keyframes, go to the graph editor, and then fit the graph to view. It's coming in, so I would just do a extreme easing to the left, like this, and that should do it. Let me go back to my preview and see the animation here. I think the turn is too fast, so I need to make the turn slower. Let me hit my tilde key again, and then I want to access my keyframes here. The turning is too fast, so basically I need to move all these keyframes forward. So maybe keep it around 2.5 seconds or something. Let's see if that works. So I want the turning still happen after the coffee machine lands. Let's see if that makes sense here. Yeah, I think it looks better now, but I think what I want is even make it into around 3 seconds to give it more time so that it's more obvious. Yeah, I think that looks better now. And the problem right now is the handle is broken. Let's go to see where the handle is. Right now, the handle is still parented to my old coffee machine Illustrator layer. I need it to be parented to the outline layer. So I need to go to the final position where everything lands here. This is where everything lands before it goes moving. I want this handle to be parented to my layer 16, which is a coffee machine outline. And now the front here, I'm going to go to the handle, hit U on the keyboard. We're animating the path of the handle so that at the beginning, when the coffee machine is turning around here, I want the path of this handle to be connected to my coffee machine here. Maybe like this. And if we do this, let me go to the graph editor, just do a same easing as my coffee machine when it's coming in, just extreme easing like this. Now, if we play the animation here, we'll have a turning effect with the handle turning with the coffee machine here. We're also animating the path property of the handle so that it's turning as well. Just the same effect as we animated the turning of the coffee machine here. That's a nice turn on the handle, you see that? And then when everything settles, it will just come up to the front of the camera to start brewing. Yeah, I like that turning of the handle. It looks super subtle, super nice. That's the full 3D turning animation for the coffee machine.